Coming at you from New Jersey, the capital of misery, and the place where metal forgot to die. This is Here Lies Metal, the podcast that brings you the origins, history, and culture of everything metal. The podcast that, according to Gargoyle84, no one asked for, and according to Gareth B, is a complete waste of time. Thank you guys for giving us such feedback. You know, I appreciate, if people gave us good feedback, I'd get really nervous and I wouldn't know what to do. Do you know that? Like, if people were like, this show is cool, like, I'd get really nervous.
Your friends give you positive feedback.
Not anymore. They don't really watch it anymore.
They used to.
Yeah, they used to. It was a novel thing for them. But now, they don't really care. But when I get negative reviews from just random people, and I don't know who these people are, it makes me happier than if some random person that I don't know was like, this show is really cool. I would feel really nervous if someone was like, this, or if somebody gave me money, I would be unhappy.
Sure you would.
I would be unhappy because I wouldn't think I deserved it. If somebody was like, here's $10, good job, I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
You have a fear of success.
I have a fear of success.
Is my mic on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
So you watch, talk.
But
there.
I just want to say that no one on earth has ever asked for a podcast.
That's right. No one.
All podcasts exist as exercises of narcissism, and no one wants them.
You just happen to like some of them. Like when Joe Rogan started his podcast, nobody wanted him to do a podcast. He's the new Howard Stern, but no one wanted him to do that. He just did it to, sort of accelerate his comedy career, to help it along. And, you just happen to like it, but...
Of the average podcast listener, you probably listen to regularly 1.5 podcasts.
Yeah.
And there's like a million podcasts per person.
The problem with podcasts is everyone could do one. There's this good Family
Even
Guy.
us.
Yeah. There's a good Family Guy skit about podcasts. It's really funny.
I refuse to watch a Family Guy skit.
Yeah, it's just, perfect example of a podcast. But, everyone could do one, and they all suck. All of your podcasts suck. Your podcast sucks. My podcast sucks. They all suck. Joe Rogan's podcast sucks. It's just big because he's Joe Rogan.
You haven't introduced yourself.
I am.
Maledictus.
Still. And this is...
Samantha.
And we shall be your overlords for today. Though as unnecessary as that is.
And all of eternity.
For here and all eternity. From here to eternity, like the Nick Cave album. For her to eternity, I think it is. Either way. Prepare for metal. Prepare to be meddled. Unnecessarily. I am glad to ruin your day. Keep up the bad comments. That's money for me, people. The bad comments. Just keep it up. That's what I want. Don't send me money. Don't say nice things about me. Because I'll stop doing your show. I'll lose interest and I'll stop doing your show if you say nice things about me. Okay? Are we ready?
Sounds like the comments are working.
Yeah. No one says anything nice about us.
That's not true.
They might comment on what the article is, or they'll have a correction. But actually, it's this, which is not, your show is worthless. But yeah. So I hate all of you out there.
All right. Well, what are we doing today?
We have some music reviews. We didn't do it last time, but because there was no music last time.
There was music. We're just
ended.
Slow.
Music ended last time, but it started again.
We have a few kind of old stuff, but we're not on a schedule here. It's still 2020.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
This show is useless anyway. Okay. Did you know Lamb of God has a new record? You know what it's called?
I've heard this, yes.
You know what it's called? You know what these fuckers called it? These original... They called it...
Lamb of God.
Lamb of God.
Self-titled.
Like the Black Album. It's Lamb of God. This is their eighth album.
Eighth album, yes.
Eighth album.
So...
What do we know about this?
What kind of message does that send?
It means nothing is happening ever. It means...
Is this their last album?
No, I don't think
or it's just they couldn't think of a title.
Yeah. They're just like, we should call it Lamb of God.
Well, I believe the album title has a clock on it.
Let's see.
You should click on the album.
Is that where?
That is not the album.
Oh, okay.
All the way at the bottom.
Discographies, right? Lamb of God full length album. Oh yeah. Oh, it's the end. It's the 11th hour. It's
so. I don't know. I think it's a little ominous that they named it Lamb of God.
Yeah.
So maybe they're gonna pack it in.
Yeah, it's about time, guys.
You know what should pack it in is that papyrus logo.
Yeah, that is really turn of the century, isn't it?
It's like a relic.
Yeah, that's really turn of the century. That's, that's like maybe like 20 years from now, that would be cool again. Kind of, how like Metallica's logo got cool again. They kind of changed it in the 90s, but now it's back to the regular Metallica logo. Same thing.
So someday we'll be back to papyrus.
Yes, this will be cool again in like 20 years. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, we can only hope.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about the album. We listened to it.
Yeah,
this isn't our normal thing.
Well, once in a while, we want to do a popular album, so I could say shit about it. Yeah, go ahead.
And I enjoy Randy Blythe personally. I believe that's how you say his name. He seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, I agree with him. He's a reasonable guy.
So I enjoy his antics. But his band isn't the most offensive thing. But it's
not
really
these
for us.
days.
But we listen to the album.
Not these days.
These days?
Yeah, not these days. When they first started, they were called Burn the Priest. So
did you like them back then?
I did. They weren't really known back then when they were called Burn the Priest.
Exactly why you bring it up.
But but they didn't change that name. I read because like it was like offensive to anyone. They changed it because they were like, we need to mature, and
I mean, it is a little immature.
We need to like be less edgelords as they go. That's the same thing when my band was called Holy Enema in the 90s, and we're like, that's a little immature. It's the same thing.
All right, let's get
Edgelord.
this on topic.
Edgelords.
I thought it almost began a little gothy.
Yeah, that's right. It starts like Sisters of Mercy or something.
Yeah.
I was like, what's with this?
But it goes into that kind of standard Lamb of God.
Yeah,
What does Metal Archives call them? Groovecore?
Well, you know what they are? They're Southern metal. That's what they are.
You think so? No, I don't think
in an
so.
almost in an evolved form of Pantera.
Some elements, I guess, but like they're definitely. I feel like they're proto metalcore or like
after metal. Well, after.
They're after metalcore.
Oh no, I'm sorry. After new metal. Yeah, no. After
they're the bridge between new metal and metalcore.
Yeah, that's a good possible.
But like you can kind of hear, like that point where like, cause how metalcore has those riffs that are basically just percussion.
Yeah.
It's like no notes in metalcore.
Yeah, there's no melody. It's just
on this album as well has a lot of riffs like that where they're very percussive, but they still play notes.
Yeah, they're not as extreme as some of these bands.
They play their instruments.
Yeah, some of these. Yeah, they have talent. In fact, their drummer was shared with Megadeth for a while. Their former drummer who left recently was replaced by Art Cruz, who I saw play in a small club by the name of the in Teaneck, the Debonair with Prong.
Oh, with Prong.
I was really amazed by him,
Okay.
and he kept looking at my camera. He kept looking like at making eye contact with my camera. Art Cruz here. So yeah, I thought that was cool. That was the guy from Prong. He was a really good guy. From Prong. And now he's in these guys.
I do have to say, when we reviewed the Havoc album, we made fun of them for their lyrics, for their Wake Up Sheeple lyrics.
Yeah, that usual stuff.
I gotta say, Lamb of God is maybe a little worse.
I feel like Lamb of God's been doing that for a while.
Yeah, no, I don't think they've been subtle, but it's just it's a little cringy. I can't lie.
They're not the only one.
That gothy intro, it's like wake up.
Wake up.
They literally say wake up.
They're not the only one doing that, though. I mean, they're not the only band.
I mean, lots of people have said wake up, but it's just a little on the nose.
Wake up, sheeple.
And like the next song is talking about the American Scream. Get it? It's like a
American Dream, American Scream. I got the papers right here.
But I don't know. I found this album kind of listenable for a genre of music that I don't really like. It's high quality stuff. Lamb of God knows what they're doing.
Yeah, of all those kind of bands, they're like the highest quality one.
Yeah.
Of all those WSOU kind of bands.
I kind of even liked the song New Colossal Hate. It's kind of catchy.
What's the song? They have some guest musicians.
So they had Jamie Jasta. Mr. Jamie Jasta joined us.
Yeah, the father of metalcore. Perhaps.
I didn't get much of an impression from his song. I'm not sure why he was there, but he was there. And we also had Chuck Billy.
And you can hear Chuck Billy in that song. Like
you can hear him.
Chuck Billy always, to me, had that, like, and I'm not making fun of him, but he always had like that poor man's James Hetfield voice. But it's not that at all. That's just like a way of describing it, but that's not like truth about it. Like in reality, he's a way better singer than James Hetfield. But he kind of has a kind of thing going, and you just hear that voice in the back. And you're like, oh, that's Chuck Billy. It's Chuck Billy.
Anyway, what did you think of the album?
It's typical Lamb of God. but it's not like offensive, and it's like a subtle version of a lot of that jun music today. Like, it's a subtle version of it because it's the original version of that stuff.
It's the stuff that inspired.
Yeah, so it's not going too far.
The worst excesses of metalcore today.
Yeah, because it's not excessive.
But
like Lamb of God has never been excessive. It's not like okay. It's just like it's Lamb of God. I saw Lamb of God open for Metallica once in 2008. So they kind of periodically rose for a band that was sort of mentored by Gwar in Richmond. Like they're a band that kind of went up quickly into
Metallica
the arena.
has that effect on people.
Yeah. Like if you're with them, but they got to do that though. So
anyway,
they got to open for Metallica.
I believe you were also saying today, Lamb of God is kind of like the standard metal band that you're able to play on any metal station. Yeah,
they're safe. They're like one of the safest standard. They're like the standard metal sound.
Like, what is modern metal?
Yeah, and they're a great example of it. Like, they're a safe example of it. That's not too far. That anyone could really be like, oh, okay, I'm okay with this. I don't know anyone that like
okay with it.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that hates these guys. Like, oh, I fucking hate Lamb of God. They're not like irritating in any way.
I mean, they can be a little irritating.
Well, then you think about Randy. And it's like Randy's okay.
But as I said, I found this album listenable, even though it's not my thing exactly.
Yeah, it's not like horrific.
So
I'm not going to listen to it like running or something. It's not going to do anything for me.
You should try listening to New Colossal Hate while running.
Yeah. Like, the music doesn't move me.
I like that one.
It doesn't move me. It doesn't, like, I'm like, it's grooves. It doesn't groove for me. Maybe it grooves for some people, but it doesn't do it for me. But,
it's groovecore.
Yeah, it's groovecore. Groove. I don't know where they came up with that, but
I don't know if that's what they called it.
Like, Randy is in that, like, southern sludge sphere. He's in that.
This is not sludge.
No, because they're like too far north of Virginia. But like he's in that. So he's sang for I Hate God before. Like he's got to sing for them.
I could see that.
When they had a lot of guest singers. They even had friggin' Corpse Grinder sing for them. Like he's in that sphere. Like he's in that sort of universe.
I mean, yeah, his vocal could be like
but he's got those kind of vocals.
The rest of the band is pretty far.
Yeah, and the rest of the bands are like they're like music people. Like they're like good musicians. They're not like shitty musicians. Like I said, their former drummer played for Megadeth for a while. He was a drummer. What was his name? Chris Adler or something. Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
We don't need to.
Oops, why am I clicking on that? Just to confirm, that was complete lineup. That was
all right.
Where the fuck?
You're looking at the album, that's why. Let's just move on.
Yeah. Anyway, what do we got here?
It's the Cro-mags.
Okay, so the Cro-mags, you all know, they came out with a new album after 20 years. 20.
Yeah, the last album
20
was in
years.
2000.
The last
There's
album
been
was
some activity.
The last album, Revenge, 2000, and that looks like is that Paris Mayhew there? And there's Harley Flanagan, or is that John Joseph? I can't tell. No, that's probably Harley Flanagan, right?
That's Harley. Right?
Yes. Yeah, is that Paris Mayhew there?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Okay. He's a nerd anyway. So what do we know about this album?
It's their first since their initial name reckoning.
Okay, so there's kind of Cro-mags. We've talked about this before. Cro-mags is kind of it's a conflict right now.
John Joseph versus
Yeah.
Harley Flanagan.
So it was like a John Joseph one, but is the John Joseph one even active? Like that was that Cro-mags AD? Where was it?
I don't know the full
What
story.
was it? I forgot. We did this before,
But
though.
this happened.
We spoke of this.
I think maybe April last year, 2019.
Yeah.
There was the official ruling that Harley gets to be Cro-mags, and John Joseph, should he play, I think he is.
Yeah.
Is Cro-mags JM.
Cro-mags JM. That was it. Not Cro-mags AD. Cro-mags JM.
So I assume since, John Joseph wanted the name, he's planning to do something with it.
Well,
but I don't know. I haven't looked him up.
Harley Grant Flanagan might come after him. Harley Flanagan just looks like an angry guy. He just looks like a guy he just looks like a really pissed off Irish guy.
All right. Well,
what do we know about this album?
This album's called In the Beginning. It's technically their sixth album.
Why are they called In the Beginning?
Because
Lamb of God has their ominously last album. These guys have their first album and their last album.
The Cro-mags are going to explain all of history to us with this album.
They did.
It was also known as produced by Arthur Rizek
Who's
I
that?
believe is how you say his name. He's a very cool guy. He's very in with a lot of bands. He's mixed and mastered all the hottest shit the past like 3 years or so.
Like what?
And notably, he's been the producer on all of Power Trip.
Oh, okay.
So I think I've even seen live videos of him playing with Power Trip.
Oh, okay.
So he's like he's like a stamp of approval kind of if he's producing something. It's like
Approved.
ooh, Arthur Rizk.
Arthur Rizk.
It's probably
Arthur Rizk.
probably pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think this album started out pretty solid. It's
It
Cro-mags.
starts how you want the Cro-mags to continue. I mean, like when you hear a new album from the Cro-mags, this is what you want to hear. However,
it's some hardcore. It's some New York.
yeah, it's just where it's like, oh, this is good. And of course, by the way, Harley Flanagan is singing. He's singing and playing bass. So it's all him. And that works. It's not. I always like that crazy voice of John Joseph. That kind of the way John Joseph does.
Yeah, the vocals is not very notable. I would say.
Yeah, John Joseph really just.
But
gave the Cro-mags their sound.
Some pretty solid hardcore riffs going on in this thing, and some.
So the first few songs, it's like, yeah, this is good, but then it starts getting weird. It's like, what? It's like, what? What's that?
I mean, it's got a lot of slow sections.
Yeah,
with, like
that you're not expect.
Noodling, I would call it, and not even
Noodling.
There's some very obvious parts with like some Eastern like string instrument or something.
Yeah, obviously the Cro-mags have always been into that.
Yeah,
That's always been,
But there's some other stuff where it's just like it's almost a little jammy, like
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
it kind of goes on.
It's not very. Doesn't really scream hardcore to you.
Yeah, hardcore guys don't generally like let their guard down like that. They're always kind of like, they don't really they don't jam.
But yeah, the album's 38 minutes long.
Which
I
is
feel
fine.
like it could have been cut to 30 minutes.
Yeah,
pretty easily.
Just like that's how it should be, like a hardcore
Just
album.
like tighten it up.
Yeah, a hardcore album should be like 30 minutes.
But interestingly, track 4 featured Phil Campbell from Motorhead.
Yeah, that guy, the guitar player.
Yeah, I think his first album with Motorhead was Orgasmatron.
Yeah,
he's a later edition.
Yeah, he I forget which. He was after. I think he was after Robbo. I don't know if he was after Robbo after Motorhead, or was it Wurzel? I don't know.
The one that replaced Fast Eddie.
Yeah, it was Robbo.
It was after him.
So he's right after Robbo then. Okay. And so he's the guitar. Of course, the drummer ended up in Scorpions of all bands. Scorpions.
But yeah, I thought it was. I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't really tell guitar guests very often. Like the Tony Iommi on Candlemass, okay, but like this was like Harley's just like, let's go, Phil. And I was like, oh, this is Phil Campbell's song.
Yeah, it's like he's never really been a.
Like, okay, cool.
When you're in a band like Motorhead, there's no room really for the guitar player.
Yeah.
Not at that stage. Early on, when it was Fast Eddie, there was kind of room for a guitar, but later on, it didn't really matter what the guitar was doing.
Yeah. But yeah, I will say the album does end strong. It ends with another banger, so it has that.
Yeah, they kind of go through this weird stuff. They're like, oh yeah, we're making an album here, and then they go back into with there was a time.
What?
There was a time.
There was a time.
Where's that extra song?
Yeah, that Between Wars song is just like six minutes.
Yeah, it's a little weird for them.
Was that the instrumental?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
The instrumental.
And it wasn't like... I can go for a banging hardcore instrumental, okay?
No instrumentals.
But like, I'm fine with...
No. You're not... this isn't Metallica Day. This isn't Master of Puppets, Justice for All.
No, like a lot of exciting...
time.
Like, you can make like a bunch of hardcore riffs smashed together with no vocals, and that's the instrumental.
No. The idea of hardcore is to have like vocals about some political thing or some kind of strife,
All right.
or I'm going to kick your ass. There's no instrumentals in hardcore. You're not supposed to be good. You're not expected to be able to play.
Anyway, this is some decent bro music gets a little contemplative if you want to be into that.
Yeah, let's not, let's...
But mostly, I would say 60%, just some broness.
Brocore.
Bro time.
Yeah, my band is happy this album. They're all about this album. Like my band thinks they're this band. Like my bass player singer, I call it. He's Hardly Flanagan. That's what I call him. So that's his nickname.
I have not heard that before.
Yes. Okay, well, let's watch out.
What did you think? What did you think?
Well, you know, you gotta be careful what we say about this. You know, as you know, Paris Mayhew, the founder, I've heard he had to put bars on his windows because of the potential wrath of Harley Flanagan.
I invite Harley Flanagan to come over
I don't.
anytime.
I'll just keep the bars on the windows. So I won't let him in. He'll get in. But yeah, the album starts well, and I'm like, this is, and we're listening to it. I'm like, this part is weird. Like some of the songs get a little bit weird. You know.
I mean, have they always gotten weird like that? I'm not a big Cro-mags.
No,
person.
you know, when I started listening to the Cro-mags.
But they always had like Eastern, like they were
No, it's always
Krishna
it's always
guys.
been that's always been like their like, you know, their album covers. They're definitely like that whole straight edge kind of thing. But like, you know, when I started listening to the Cro-mags, it was like Age of Quarrel. You know, it was like Near Death Experience. That's the stuff like I first listened to like back then, like back when this stuff was new, and I was like, well, this is cool. I like this. You know, I really liked it. But you know, the early '90s stuff. But, you know, like, I don't remember them ever getting, like, kind of weird. Like, yeah, remember, this is a different Cro-mags. This is no original members. This is Harley Flanagan.
It's like a solo project now.
Yeah, but, you know, he's Harley, so, you know, he's a founding member.
But I think his thing is, like, I've always been Cro-mags.
Yeah,
always was a solo
or
project.
I'll kick the shit out of you. You know, like, obviously, you're probably not going to see Paris Mayhew in this anymore. And he was a founding member. He was, like, the nerd that started all this, you know, amongst, like, a bunch of, like, way tougher-looking dudes with tattoos. You know, and he's like kind of like this nerdy guy. Like, let's see here.
All right, we're getting into that.
Wait, there's like a where's the live album? Is it?
All right, let's keep this tight over here.
Nothing tight. There's like a picture of them, and it's just like a funny picture.
It's on the main page.
No, well, yeah, well, maybe you could look at this, like, yeah, like there's, you know, that guy just looks like he's just like this nerdy kind of rich kid, and these guys are like, we'll hang out with you, yeah, we can jam, you know, but yeah.
All right.
Is that Mackie? Mackie played for them, right?
Mackie's also. I think that's the JM. It's John, Joseph, and Mackie.
Oh, okay, so Mackie's with them, yeah, because Mackie was this phenomenal drummer.
Something.
We used to always, oh, Mackie, this guy's so good, yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Cro-mags. Blah blah blah.
Next, this album's been out for a bit now, but it made it onto my short list without us ever talking about it.
Stallion. Stallion.
So I figured we should talk about it. This is Stallion, heavy metal, speed metal.
Speed metal. It's actual speed metal.
Germany. And it's pretty fucking good.
A lot of people like to use the term speed metal, but this is actually speed metal.
No, it is speed metal.
Yeah, this is real speed metal.
Well, I mean, there's some real thrash elements on here as well. Some, like, you know, very classic sounding German thrash.
Yeah, like, you know, the Destruction, Sodom, Creator.
It's got that mean, kind of whiny sometimes
German thrash.
Very relentless riffing.
Yeah, the Germans, had their own thrash. Like we had our thrash, East Coast thrash, West Coast thrash, and there was thrash from Germany. And it's its own thing. Like
that No Mercy song in particular. Yeah. Track 2 is it's like kind of a mean thrash song.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
But they're also not afraid to get kind of hair metal a lot of the time.
Yeah, they get a little
glammy and kind of rock and roll as well.
It gets like a little. It gets a little overkilly in a way, in a good way. Then it gets a little party. Like some of the songs get like a little bit like let's drink a lot of beer and smash the walls kind of sound.
I think one of my favorite moments was on the song "Time to Reload" before the guitar solo. He just goes guitar.
Yeah, you just gotta say it, guitar.
Well, he shouts it.
But
very English second language.
It has a little bit, yeah, definitely. You can always hear that. It has a little bit, of an Enforcer vibe to it. A little meaner though.
It's way meaner than Enforcer.
It's more, it's angrier than Enforcer.
They're meaner than Enforcer, and if you another German thrash band, say modern German thrash band Vulture, less mean than Vulture. So yeah. They're kind of in the middle between those two. There's a ballad. So, Vulture wouldn't definitely have a ballad. There's a ballad on this, which is kind of amusing, but I don't know if they're kidding. They're probably not. I don't know. It's very heartfelt, and it's fucking 7 minutes long.
Well, if they're gonna be retro, a lot of bands had like a ballad back then. Even like
they're very retro. This is some very on point production.
Yeah.
Like 80s.
They're
80s
really
shit.
trying to capture the moment. Even like the legit bands had like a ballad. Megadeth had ballads.
I'm just saying, like, this ballad was. It was something else. Like,
Slaves of Time is the record. Yeah.
did you listen to the ballad?
It's,
Trying to talk to you about the album. Yeah. All right, he didn't listen to it.
I did listen to the album. I don't like, I don't like those things. They don't like click with me. Like that, just because you're trying to be retro. I'm just like, yeah. I'm like, nah, I'm not having it.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, was it like some kind of like, haha, let's put a ballad in because it's what we do, or I think they meant it. I think they mean it. Like they like the ballad.
These guys, being that they're Europass certified.
Yes.
Like
these guys
they
need
probably
a Europass.
Yeah, they probably mean it.
They mean it.
By the way, listeners, 7,000 monthly listeners, which is that's decent.
That's pretty decent. And
yeah.
The thing is, I haven't heard a lot of people talking about this album or this band.
No.
But I think they are big in Europe.
I think they're with the whole walking thing. They're probably out there.
Yeah.
High Roller Records, which is a decent label. It seems to have a lot of people on it. A lot of like known acts. Obviously like a European label, High Roller Records. So.
But big in Europe, that's why they get the Europass.
Yeah, and they're definitely, they're not. I don't think they're not LARPers. They're
all right, but they're good. Sort of like good guitar solos and shit. And it's good time and it's fun. And it's very, the album's very varied. It's got a lot of, it's they made a lot of like nice set of songs here. It's worth a listen for sure. I'd say it's in my my short list.
How come there's always this guy in every band?
They all look like that guy.
No, but there's always this guy. Like Tower has this guy. Right? This guy's in that other band we're reviewing.
What?
This guy. Like he looks like this. He has like a beard and a mustache and he's just going all out with his vest.
There are
he drinks
4
a lot
out
of
of
beer.
5 of them have
But
mustaches.
this guy, this particular guy is in every band like this. Like he looks like this. This particular guy is in every band. This guy.
I don't know. I think they all look very similar.
No, but this guy kind of looks like Edgar Allan Poe, right? And he's a lot more subtle. And this guy's just some dude, right?
Well, I think it's just because he's wearing sunglasses. I'm sure
he wears sunglasses.
Sure all of them own sunglasses.
No, but he always wears sunglasses in the photo when you don't need to wear them. Like this guy's just like a normal looking dude. He's like, hey man, but this guy's like, yeah, I party.
All right, we got one more album to talk about.
Okay, so these guys are not from Europe.
This is Greyhawk with their debut album, Keepers of the Flame. This is also heavy metal, but more power metal.
All right. So when I first heard these guys, Seattle. When I first heard these guys, I'm like, are they serious with this? And I was in there, and Sam's like, they're from Seattle. I'm like, they're real LARPers. They're not real. You can't. What are they? A bunch of hipsters that are dressing up.
So just to clarify, this is power metal. This is some power metal shit.
So
put on your wizard hat, make your scepter.
Yeah. Well, maybe that guy. Well, that guy's not LARPing. He's just dressing how he usually does.
They're a new band. They're not all on the costumes yet. Okay.
Yeah,
so
not all of them.
We have some time to get it together.
Yeah.
Okay, but this guy is leading them. He has a scepter. He made it. It's got a crystal on it. It's got a quartz.
Yeah,
it's got some fur.
That's like the Wobberjack from Skyrim.
The what?
The Wobberjack. It like turns things into. You don't know what it's gonna do when you unleash it. It just It might summon a demon.
I was gonna say I'm not enough of a nerd, but
the Wobberjack is a legendary item in Skyrim.
I remember.
And that's maybe like a Wobberjack.
I don't know. You should arrange an interview with him and ask.
I never got rid of the Wobberjack. When you get the Wobberjack, you don't get rid of it. Like you always keep that around.
Mm-hmm. On to the album. These guys can play their instruments.
Okay. Can I say something about that?
Can play their guitar.
Now I'm listening to this, and I'm like, these guys, they got 2 guitars, right? Like they're like 2 really good guitarists, and I'm realizing, like, that is not a thing anymore. Like back in the day, you're like, whoa, this guy's a good guitarist. You listen, like at the 90s, you listen to Matt Pikers. I'm like, oh, this guy's you listen to Eddie Van Halen, you listen to the guy from the Scorpions, or you listen, like, whoa, this guy's a good guitarist. Most likely that guitarist was a Hellraiser, and he partied, he fucking destroyed shit, or like Slash or something, or any kind of guy like that. Today, there's so many like guitarists that are really good, and they're all fucking nerds. They all play on the internet, and they're nerds, and they're really good. Like, listen, like this album has an instrumental called RXRO, and it's just guitar masturbation, and it's like almost in a Megadeth kind of way, like the way like Megadeth kind of does those solos. But like Megadeth, Dave Mustaine and whatever guitarist he had at the time, whichever it was, like they were, maybe Marty Friedman was a nerd. Okay, fine. He was like the first guitar.
Yeah.
He was like the first guitar nerd. Okay, but anyway, like when they had like Chris Poland or something, that guy's like got a heroin needle in his arm, and he's still and they're just like rocking it out. And Dave Mustaine, we know, he's definitely not a nerd. So like, but these guitarists today, they're just like it seems like,
listen,
there's so many of them that are so good that it doesn't even matter anymore.
this is power metal.
Oh no, never mind that. It doesn't matter what kind of metal it is. In all genres of metal,
Power metal calls to the nerds.
yeah, but even in these bands that aren't power metal bands that aren't for nerds, they're still nerds. In these other bands too, these really good guitarists, whether it's black metal or any kind of like, or even like new thrash or whatever, or even stoner music. Like, well, stoner music has less good guitarists. I'll say that they don't have like super guitarists usually because it's not called for. But with thrashers and things like faster stuff, more complicated stuff, stuff that involves less weed. Yeah, like there's so many like really good guitarists. I'm not one of them. I'm not a good guitarist. I'm pretty terrible. Because I didn't have a guitar website. I didn't have a YouTube channel where I play guitar. I just kind of just play. And and I've been playing for like since 2000. I've been 2000.
All right, we haven't talked about this album at all.
Wait. I'm not done. Well, I've been playing since 1990, and I'm pretty bad. I'm not a good guitarist.
All right.
Because I'm not a nerd.
Yes, you are.
I'm not a nerd.
He plays flight simulators on his free
That
time.
is irrelevant to this podcast.
All right. Listen, power metal's for nerds, and we're both nerds
These days.
So, if you like power metal, if you like, Visigoth, this is kind of a lot like Visigoth.
Yeah.
Not as well produced, a lot rougher around the edges. I mean, Visigoth is like, very slick, a little too high production.
This is not power metal in the same league as like Manowar, by the way. Don't try to like think that.
Well, I mean, they love metal. They're definitely singing about the glory of metal. They don't have Manowar's attitude problem.
Yeah, they don't have that yet.
They're just singing about wizards.
Yet.
They have a nice song about how you're the wizard.
Yes, it's a positive song.
It's a positive song.
Don't look for the wizard.
Don't wait for the wizard.
You're the wizard.
Be the wizard.
Be the wizard.
Don't wait for magic. The magic is you.
Like at first glance, I thought these guys were going for Europass, but there's no Europass because they're from Seattle, so they have to deal with whatever they have in this country.
But there's some definite hard rock influences, I would say, on this album. They break it down. There's a gothy song as well on here.
That song is definitely gothy.
Real gothy. And it's kind of stuff it's very ridiculous, but it gets you pumped up, you know? Like it works. It works.
Yeah, they did a good job, despite their nerd guitarists.
And it's got a great epic heavy metal vocal, which I love and I wish more people did.
Yeah.
It's hard though. It's real hard.
Their vocalist is like he's not like a wailer. Like you could tell he has a limited range, so he's doing what he could with it.
I mean, he's definitely above average, the fact that he's able to do it at all.
Yeah, to have any kind of power. But he's not a wailer because
I mean, he's not Rob Halford, no.
Yeah, he doesn't have that range.
He's definitely inspired by Rob Halford, and I wish more singers would go in that direction. And I think, he's certainly good enough. He's doing it. He doesn't. Plenty of guys sound flat and thin when they try to do it, but he doesn't. So it's good.
Yeah, he's working with what he has. He's staying in his range. But he's not as like as his guitarists are. He's these guitar nerds are.
He's not an opera singer, no.
I bet you these two are the guitar nerds. Right? And the bass player is from what band?
He's from Skeletor.
So this guy's kind of in another band that we know.
2019 album made it onto our list last year.
This guy, this tough looking guy with his His what is it called? Bracers.
This guy loves heavy metal.
Are these
Was there gauntlets?
What gauntlet? No, gauntlets go over your
No,
hands.
those are your hands. Yeah, those are bracers.
Bracers. Magic bracers of speed. +5 for a sword strike.
I don't know. I feel like a bassist should go for more for like vitality.
Yeah, right.
Fortitude.
Vitality. Yeah. Like the guitarist needs the bracers of speed. Yeah.
He's not wearing any bracers. Come on, guys, get it together.
These guys are nerds.
All right.
That's the thing.
So, did you like the album?
Yeah, the album is good, despite the guitar masturbation, which I don't appreciate anymore. I
don't like it?
Because it's so common. Everyone is doing it, and I want everyone to stop with the guitar masturbation. Everyone.
Yeah, when it gets to like neoclassical levels,
And they're
what's that band, Ex Mortis, where they're literally doing a classical.
Yeah, when Ex Mortis was doing it, it wasn't out of control yet. Being that this is a new band.
Ex Mortis is more ridiculous than the guitar
But
masturbation.
Ex Mortis was doing this like long before this is new. This is brand new. This is this is a new band.
They're not allowed to because it's been
It's
done
like okay. Like when Ex Mortis was doing
modern band.
Yeah, well, like when Ex Mortis has been around for how long? Like almost 20 years, probably like a while. You know, I don't want to look them up right now.
Maybe 10.
But like at least 10 years. You know, like that whole guitar thing that whole guitar nerd masturbation came up with YouTube. It's because of YouTube. It's because there's all these internet guitarists on YouTube that are just like, look how good I am with their 7-string necklace guitars. And now it's everywhere. Now it's in our music. Like and back in my age, like I said, good guitarists were like a few guys and they were hellraisers. Like Matt Pike, awesome guitarist. He's not a nerd, okay? He didn't have a YouTube channel. Like Matt Pike was smoking weed and drinking and playing his fucking guitar. Like that's he's a hellraiser. You know, this guy is not a hellraiser.
You don't know about him.
He's not. Look at him. Imagine he tried to hang with Matt Pike. He just wouldn't. Look at his little skinny jeans.
You don't know about him, okay?
But the rest of these guys, but what I thought these guys were authentic, or most of them anyway. Because, looking at their history, one of them was like in a Pantera cover band. I don't know which guy it was, but I'm like, okay, that's
Skeletor guy.
I'm like, yeah, okay, there you go. That's pretty real. I'm not saying I like Pantera. I'm like, that's pretty real.
All right, are you done ranting for no reason?
No, that's what I do.
Guitar players.
I'm as a guitar player, I'm tired of fucking guitar players. I want you all to stop.
I like guitar players.
I don't like them.
I like exciting guitar music.
I don't like them. I'm tired of them. Monthly listeners 1,700. It's not a huge amount.
It's not nothing.
Yeah, but it's not like these are the smallest band we're doing today.
We've done less.
They're on Fighter Records, which has a limited roster. I noticed. I'm just mostly Euro bands. Fighter Records. Mostly, these guys are one of the few American bands that are on Fighter Records. I'm always interested in the record label situation with these guys, but anyway, they're authentic though. They despite a few shortcomings with that guitar masturbation, it's a good band. No, you should definitely check this out. If you're like, hey, there's no good music, there's no good new music. Well, yeah, listen to this. So, okay. I'm just when a band like this is from America, I'm cautious.
They don't get a Europass.
You do not get a Europass, so you're on your own.
You need a visa.
Yeah, like the other band, they're fine. They get Europass. They're all in. They're from Germany. That's cool. It's fine. Everything they're doing is fine. But you guys, you have to, you're gonna be a little bit against the wind. So it's the way it is. If you're wondering, email me, you guys, because sometimes so at this level, sometimes this stuff gets back to the bands, as we've seen before. Like, because I put it in the keywords, and then the band somehow comes up for the band. So if you guys hear this, I'm not shitting on you, but if you're both of these guitar players,
you're both very talented, and I think you should keep doing what you're doing.
You guys are Enrico Maurizio, you, and Jesse Merlin. You two, contact me and explain to me what the business is with these guitars. This ridiculous. I'm a guitar player, and I'm terrible. Okay, and I'm proud of it. Okay.
He plays in a hardcore band. You wouldn't understand.
I'm not good. Last time I played, I completely fucked up the show. My bad. I'm not good. I've never been good.
And you caused the plague with that.
Yeah, I ruined everything. Yeah. So anyway, that's all with the bands, right?
And thus concludes our music reviews.
Yeah. But we have, it's a lot of news.
We have some news today.
Okay, so we haven't had a despite all the death around, we haven't had a dead person in a while. And unfortunately, it is my favorite movie composer, Ennio Morricone. As you know from, if you've ever seen a Metallica concert, to put it simply to all you simps, as they say, that's a dumb word. No, simp means like you're
That's
like
not what simp
no,
means.
simp means like you're like a cuck or something, right? Yeah, that's what the right wing people. No, I meant like
Not necessarily.
I meant
We don't need to get into
yeah,
it.
I didn't mean to use the word simp. I meant to use the word like just like people are just like noobs maybe. Like noobs to Ennio Morricone. You probably know him from the beginning of a Metallica concert, which I wasn't aware that Metallica's been using this as their intro for a very long time. I thought it was only since the Blackout, but no, it's been long before that. But I was gonna play Ecstasy of Gold from the movie Good, Bad, and Ugly, one of the greatest movies ever made, I think. But so much more about Ennio Morricone making music for many movies, many of your favorite movies. But he died at the age of 91 years old on July 6th. He came after he fell and fractured his femur, which is when you're an old person.
When you do that at 91,
yeah, you're not. Yeah, it's not a good thing.
it's bad.
Yeah, you're kind of done. But
What films did you enjoy?
he did music for The Untouchables, which I really liked, and you can always tell his style. It's a very bombastic kind of style. He did The Thing. I didn't know he did The Thing. I did not know that. Exorcist 2, not Exorcist 1. He had to do Exorcist 2, which is kind of a thing. But he is known for his soundtracks, and you always know his style. It's very Italian. But he was born in 1928, and by the age of 6, he wrote one of his first. He's one of those guys that wrote his first, like one of those Mozart kind of guys that wrote his first composition by the age of 6. It's like, oh yeah, I wrote a cantata already.
So he will be known as the Metallica.
Yes.
Well, probably not to normal people, but
but like to metal fans, like, oh, that's the Metallica guy. But I always knew him long before that. Growing up watching The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and I always liked those songs. I'm like, these are like a lot of my guitar style is based on his writing, like that kind of Western kind of thing. Like I'm into that. So that twangy kind of Western atmospheric sound that he composed. So rest in peace, Ennio Morricone, greatest Italian movie composer ever to live. What's this here?
Danzig said that the soundtrack to Verotica was inspired.
Well, aren't they all? But unfortunately, he didn't do your shitty movie that no one likes. And if he did, still no one would like it. Okay. So we're going to do this one next, right? We're going to go right to the big story. Okay. A lot to say about this. Where do we even begin with this?
So let's introduce the story here. Beavis and Butthead is coming back. Now, before you automatically cringe, it will be on Comedy Central, not what is the burning refuse pile that is MTV.
Is that still a thing? Is there still MTV?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
There's still...
I'm not sure what they have on it. Probably mostly like reality TV.
We don't have TV, so I don't know if there's MTV.
We don't know.
I thought it ended like years ago.
And Mike Judge is on board to write, produce, and voice this series. So, could it be good?
No.
And it is said to appeal to both Gen X and their Gen Z kids.
I don't know what they're gonna.
Nice?
I don't know what they're gonna do with this. They already tried to bring back Beavis and Butthead a few years ago, and I personally did not like it. It didn't even last. So obviously it wasn't good.
I didn't watch it.
It was terrible. Because here's why it was terrible. They took Beavis and Butthead, they ripped them out of the 1990s and put them in today's world, but without even like talking about it's today's world. They were just here, and it was just like
they're timeless.
Yeah, it was timeless and everything. Like there was new stuff going around them, but they weren't like dumbfounded by it. They were just like, yeah, they just always existed in this world. And like,
was Mike Judge involved in that?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, well then forget it. This is gonna be awful.
Yeah. So it was like pointless. It was just like, why did they bother doing this? There needs to be some sort of recognition of the times. By the way, it's gonna be on Comedy Central now, so Usually back in the day when Beavis and Butthead were not on MTV, they could not wear the Metallica and AC/DC shirts. They had to put like Skull and Death on their shirts. They would usually do. So being that there's not MTV, I don't know if they're going to be able to have, because it's not going to be MTV's Beavis and Butthead anymore. Comedy Central Beavis and Butthead. So I don't know if they might have to change their look. So now, like I said, they want to appeal to both Gen X. Okay, first of all, this like stuff doesn't really appeal to Gen Xers anymore because we've grown up. So like we don't really think it's like even when I watch Beavis and Butthead, like the old one, like I don't really find it that funny anymore. I'm just like okay, like why?
Like it's the humor for
immature people. It's for 16-year-olds in the 90s. It's not really gonna work with most, unless there are some mouth breathing Gen Xers. They're probably like, but like a lot of guys are probably like, nah.
Well, it's for the people who are gonna like the new Bill and Ted.
We'll talk about it in a second.
We'll get into that.
We'll talk about that in a second. And Comedy Central is also a spinoff of Daria, which is a spinoff of Beavis and Butthead called Jody. I don't know who Jody was in Daria. And
it's this whole big push that Comedy Central's doing to get Gen X and Z in on the cartoon.
I'm a Gen Xer and I hate Gen Zers. Okay, I don't hate millennials. They're fine.
You don't know any Gen Zers.
But I see them on wherever. I see them from a distance. I'm like, these people.
Why do you see them?
You hear about them having coronavirus parties to see who can get.
Well, older people are doing that too.
No. They're purposely doing it.
Older people are doing that too.
Older are purposely betting.
I hear about older people bringing their children.
Or they're just doing it out of ignorance.
Well, yeah, they're all ignorant, obviously.
No, but these Gen Zers are doing it on purpose. Like, they're like, no, I get it first.
No, they're doing it on purpose.
And they get to get the money?
To get the money?
Yeah, no. These kids, it was some frat boys in Alabama. And they were seeing who can get the coronavirus first.
Okay.
And then you get the money.
That's just kids being dumb. That's not Gen Zers. That's not their generation. Any generation of kids would have done that.
They ate Tide Pods. They did it. It's them.
You would have eaten a Tide Pod.
I would not. I assure you, when I was 17, I would not have eaten a Tide Pod. I'm like, that is not to be eaten. It's for detergent. It's not food.
All right, so we think this is going to be pretty bad.
Okay, but
here's the thing I think is that, Beavis and Butthead, just the format of like people basically like commenting on something. It's kind of like live tweeting. It's like a reaction video kind of,
Yeah.
And that's like a major form of entertainment, but it's genuine now. So this is like a parody of that, which then went on to become a legitimate form of entertainment for a lot of people like on YouTube of just like making reaction videos and stuff like that, but where they just make fun of shit.
Butthead did that before there was an internet.
That's what I'm saying, is that
with videos.
They're the progenitor. But the thing is like they bring this back and Gen Z is going to look at it and they're like, oh, this is just like a fake reaction video like of these two characters that I can't relate to. Like,
yeah, I don't know what they're going to critique. They have to have them critiquing some. Last time they had them critiquing the last attempt, I believe it was reality TV, which is not music videos. It doesn't work.
So yeah, that's the question. What are they going to talk about? Yeah,
because they have to have the show, the story, but you have to have excerpt. You have to have these parts where they're sitting on their couch and they're critiquing. Although that's the power of Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead ruined and elevated. They ruined certain bands like Winger and Warrant. You fuckers, that band that sucks. Okay, they ruined bands like that, and people from those bands like hate. They're like, Beavis and Butthead ruined my life. These cartoon characters and other bands like White Zombie and like stuff like that, and got elevated, literally elevated by Beavis and Butthead. They were literally put onto like this higher level because of these two kids, these two fictional kids. There's not going to be any power to do that anymore. There's not going to be any need to do that anymore. So what are they going to do? Like, what are they going to? I assume they're going to look at YouTube videos. Like, I assume that's what else can you do?
I don't know.
They can't, if they're being
they have to look at popular culture, otherwise, like, it can't be on Comedy Central.
Being that it's on Comedy Central, they can't do music videos. There's no way they're going to be able to do music videos. It's not going to happen. There's too many copyright things. It's never going to happen. But my main problem with this, like, there's no way Beavis and Butthead will work this new version of it. And it's for the 90s. Like, their whole personality only worked in the 90s, and kids today will not get it. If they're going to, unless they're going to be woke or something, which is not going to happen.
What if they're adults?
Okay. So here's the only way for me it's going to work. They used to, like, in the old Beavis and Butthead cartoons, they would sometimes, Mike Judge would have this, like, future prediction of what Beavis and Butthead would look like when they were old, when they were, like, in their 40s. And it was funny because, like, Butthead was this, like, fat guy, and Beavis was this skinny, like, looking meth head guy. And if they had Beavis and Butthead, here's my idea for the show. They start with them two as those portrayed old men, the exact same guys as that Mike Judge portrayed, and they're remembering back the 90s, and it's just them remembering back to the 1990s.
Oh, and they do videos that they didn't do.
Yeah, that would work. Okay, with the Gen Xers,
pure
maybe.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, or this is a dumber idea.
But the Gen Z won't like that.
Yeah, I don't know if Gen Z will like it, but to me, like, that's the only way it's gonna work.
And that sounds almost good.
Yeah. Right? That'll like, you know, I'd give it a chance.
Or maybe if they were older and they just watched the old videos and then they do it again.
And they were like just acting like boomers about it. Yeah, that's another idea. That's idea B. Okay, and idea C is they're old and then they find these Gen Z kids and they explain, these Gen Z kids are like, oh, you guys are boomers. You know, and they're like, you guys are, but these like Gen Z kids are all like young Beavis and Butthead. You know, they're like these like kind of rejects, you know, and you know, they're kind of like incels, I guess. Incels. Right? They'd be like, because they couldn't be like cool kids, right? They have to be like Beavis and Butthead. And Beavis and Butthead kind of mentor them, like these two old men. Like, oh just like how Beavis and Butthead met their old selves in like the Beavis and Butthead movie, I think. Like they met these old versions of themselves, and then they did acid, then they did like shrooms with them or something. Will it be like similar kind of a thing where like Beavis and Butthead are mentoring these kids? That would work too. But we need to have Beavis and Butthead need to have aged, okay? We need to, in order for Gen X to recognize them, they need to be our age now. We need to have 40-year-old.
Yeah, they need to make new young characters if they want.
Yeah,
Gen Z to be into them.
Yeah, they could make like these young kids pass down the torch, right? That's fine. I'm okay with that. Passing down the torch. Okay. Yeah, that's you know, like Gen X needs to be included in the demographic of this. You know. Like,
I think it should just be Gen X.
Yeah, I don't know if Gen Z. Well, they should try it with the Gen Zers, but I don't know if it's like I don't like how well.
Do something else if you want to make a show for Gen Z.
Yeah, just do something else.
Don't co-opt this old property.
How about just making something else for a change?
Make something else.
How about that? How about just not remaking something for once? That's something that doesn't need to be remade.
Do a little extra coke, come up with an idea. You know, like
that's too difficult. But yeah, that's like the only way. That's the only thing I want to see. But overall, will the Gen Xers even dig it? Like I'll give it a chance. But like even if they're doing the same kind of humor they did, like what if I don't even like it? You know, like I said, like I don't get this anymore.
Well, we don't have to like it.
I'm not 16. I'm not a kid.
Another
anymore.
Property coming back.
Okay, so like this has been talked about for a while. And
it's Bill and Ted.
Excellent. You remember this. So obviously you're talking about the movie being delayed here. Obviously through all the things, a lot of movies.
It's only by a couple weeks.
Yeah. So a lot of movies are obviously.
You know, I guess they're probably just hoping that attendance will be better.
Delay
it a couple weeks.
Wait, because you don't have movie theaters right now. Hopefully we don't have movie theaters.
Yeah, but it was like scheduled for early August, and now it's late August. It's like, okay, I'm sure that'll do a world of difference.
Yeah, we don't have movie theaters here. Like maybe in Florida you have movie theaters. In Texas.
I'm sure you can go to the movies in Florida. Yeah. Don't worry.
Here that's not going to happen.
I'll go there and die.
That's not going to happen. That's not COVID, by the way. Just phlegm in my throat. So I saw the, you probably saw the trailer of this, and I was expecting a reason. It's done by Christopher Nolan, by the way, who's as a respected director, right? But this movie is intended to avoid sorry, I'm misreading that. Okay, who didn't somebody important direct this thing though?
I don't know.
I think it was someone.
Does not matter who directs this movie.
I feel like it was someone of note. I just read real quick. I was like, Christopher Nolan did this? I feel like it was someone of note. It doesn't matter. Anyway.
So what didn't you like about the trailer?
They were man-child. They were still acting, from what I observed, they were still acting.
It was like the next day, except they're old.
Yeah, and I was hoping them to be reasonable and have it, like we know how serious Keanu Reeves is today, right? Just have Keanu Reeves how he is today. Like he's a grown-up, and he completely forgot about, and Alex Winter as well. We don't see Alex Winter in things anymore, really. But Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, like they're grown-ups. They have houses, they have families, and they're just regular guys that have jobs. And you can tell they're in terrible pain. Like, the movie should start really depressing. And then they kind of remember Wild Stallions. They're like, oh yeah, we never really made it. We never really saved the world, did we? That was just a dream. That wasn't real. And, and then it starts, somehow they get back into it. But I wanted it to start very sad and depressing. But it seems like on the movie, they're still in this band, and the band's just playing stupid shows. Like, no, why? No.
And they're still like, excellent.
It's like, oh, we never saved the world. But
excellent to each other. Like, they never had their spirits broken.
Yes, I want to see their spirits broken, and if they forget, like this,
life needed to happen to them.
Yeah, I want it to be reality.
Like that picture of Keanu Reeves, like looking sad, that needed to happen.
When you saw that picture of him, you assumed that's because at Keanu Reeves. He doesn't look like how we usually see Keanu Reeves today. He's like he's going to be in cyberpunk video game. He's in these cool movies. He looked like defeated. He's like I just have a job and I have kids.
Why couldn't life happen to Bill and Ted?
Yes, I wanted. They didn't continue their stupid band or they're playing shitty shows. They're not playing any shows. They're like, oh yeah, we used to. And he finds a dusty guitar. Oh yeah, we used to.
Like it's just like seeing them go like be excellent to each other.
Yeah, that means they
like,
haven't changed.
It was like depressing.
It's like Beavis and Butthead.
But they're old looking now, and it's like.
Yeah, it's suspension of reality.
It's just saddening.
Reality didn't find them. Like, they're just like, oh, yeah, our band just never worked. I don't know why. But we're still playing. Which is dumb. Like, yeah. I want them to suffer from reality.
Yeah, they're like man-children, and not in a good way. Like,
yeah, it's not even in any way where they look like they've gone through any pain, really.
Like in an emotionally stunted way. Like
it's still almost like it looked like a cartoon almost. Like it didn't look.
If they have wives or families, which I believe they do.
It didn't look like they did.
I thought they had daughters.
Yeah, I think they do, but it didn't. They weren't, from what you saw. It didn't look like they did though. Like they didn't look pained. They didn't look like defeated.
Yeah, but it's like you can't have any kind of it's not believable that they would have a family and be
still,
these man-children.
Yes, exactly. They looked like they just were. Suddenly they were old. Like,
yeah, it's like literally the next day they still have the exact same personality as a teenager.
And I expected this movie to be a lot more advanced than that. I expected so much more.
Like they could still be idiots, but like they're just but they're believable
just defeated,
older idiots.
Yeah, absolutely. They could absolutely be complete idiots, but like they have jobs now, and they're like, oh, yeah, I gotta go to the office. Yeah, that's not excellent. I was expecting so much more. I was expecting a much more sophisticated movie. The shame on me. So
I mean, it is Bill and Ted.
Yeah, but I expected them to go a different route.
Bill and Ted can't be adults. I guess that's it. They can't be.
Beavis and Butthead
old.
Can't be adults. I guess, but I want to see.
No, I think they can be adults.
I want to see that,
and that'll be funny. I think that'd be funny.
That's what I want to see. Okay, so speaking of like dumb people,
Wisconsin venue to hold Herd Immunity Fest, what they're originally calling it. This is taking place in, what was it, like Ringgold, Wisconsin?
I don't know where that is, but I heard about this and I'm like,
it's far.
When I first heard about this like a few weeks ago, I was like, are they crazy? Are they out of their fucking minds?
And it was featuring Static X, Non-Point, never heard of them, and Dope. Yeah. But apparently Non-Point dropped out when they heard the name of the festival.
So we're not doing that.
And they're like, because I guess the frontman for Power Man 9000
no, that's another
shamed them
for
doing it. So they're like, oh, we're pulling out because the guy from Power Man 9000 made fun of us.
Guys, not even juggalos are doing this shit, okay? Juggalos are smarter than this shit, okay?
So because of Non-Point, they renamed it to the July 19 Mini Fest, or July 20 something.
Either way, they're doing this show.
And it's an outdoor fest, and the promoters say they're only selling for 20% capacity, which shouldn't be a problem.
Doesn't that just look like it should be like new metal in the Midwest?
Not too many people will be disappointed that they couldn't go, I'm sure.
I wouldn't go if there was no pandemic, by the way. Just for the record.
Obviously. Would you go if
everything was perfect, I wouldn't go to this.
Would you go if we lived in Wisconsin and they had some real good bands playing?
With these guys?
No, these guys are not there. Like stuff we would be excited
if we lived in Wisconsin and this thing was going on, no, I wouldn't fucking go to a show. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking crazy? Why would why would anyone go near crowds? This is why Florida and Texas and these fucking moronic states are, because like they just like I can't relate to what they're thinking. Like I can't even relate. That's the thing. I can't even relate to what they're thinking. It's another world. They're like, what? They're like, there's no fucking problem. What are you talking about? Like, they really think that.
Anyway, it's going to happen at the end of this week. I was trying to look if it was canceled yet, and
Nope.
it hasn't been.
Not canceled.
So, yeah.
So it's an outdoor fest with 20% capacity. So, yeah, I think that might be okay. Like, they're wearing masks.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, so you could stay away from
I wouldn't
people.
do it, though. I wouldn't do it. But, like, there's been obviously much more crowded events that happened that didn't seem to spread things outside. So, yeah, so maybe it's okay. But I wouldn't do it. Yeah. It's funny, like, the Static X and Dope is the last show I ever photographed. Static X and Dope.
That's really sad.
Yeah. It was that. I think they toured together because I think the singer from Dope or one of the members of Dope is secretly the Static X guy with the mask. Zero his name or something. He's a replacement for that guy for
Anyway.
Kane's dad.
A
Static
concert
guy,
that
whatever his name was.
A concert that already happened.
Yeah. So
in North Dakota.
North Dakota of all places.
Very safe band to see. Great White played an outdoor street fest. Very popular, cool band.
Okay, so this is a picture of it.
Yes.
Okay, so that's like even though North Dakota is like...
That is not a social distanced event.
Yeah, there's not... Even though North Dakota, like, there's not a lot of cases there because it's the middle of nowhere.
I mean, it's not zero, though.
Yeah, it's not zero. And if this guy right here has it, then it's going to...
It's not clean.
And this stupid fucking guy is going to get it. Yeah, so it's not a good idea. This is not a good idea. This is, not a good idea at all.
So, if you didn't know, Great White, famous for...
A cover song.
And for killing 98 people.
In
Rhode
Island that time, the fire. That was when Great White was still one band. Now, after that, there was a lot of drama, and they split into two different bands. This is the band led by guitarist. The dumbass in the band is led by guitarist
Mark Kendall.
Mark Kendall. He was one of the founding members. The other guy is Jack Russell, who was not doing this. Who was smart enough not to fucking do this.
It's like you're ruining the reputation of Great White.
Yeah, he's right. He's like, obviously they have two separate competing bands. I mean, I know Jack Russell was kind of like his name kind of got tarnished with the whole fire because I think he was kind of really nonchalant about it. Like, he's the one that like might have lit the fire or something. But
it was their pyrotechnics.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Too large for the venue.
And it's the venue's fault as well for allowing this to happen. I mean, it's all their fault. Like, so it's just a horrible tragedy that happened. That's why I say, some places will just people like the meat locker. If that happens in there, like 100 people are gonna fucking die. Easily.
I don't think he would allow pyrotechnics.
I would hope not. Yeah, I would. No, I mean
not that dumb.
No, I mean if there's a fire in there, not because of pyrotechnics. Like if there was a fire in there, like it would be a fucking horrible disaster. But yeah, like we get a word from Jack Russell, and he's just safe on his boat. He lives in a boat in California, and he's like, yeah, this is a bad idea. He's like, this is a real disease. It's not a good idea. Basically, he says.
Can you imagine risking your life to see Great White?
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine how worthless your life is in North Dakota.
I mean, you're in North Dakota. That's like the #1 cultural event you're gonna see all year.
I would just stay home. Like,
you've got other values if you live in North Dakota. You don't need to see a concert.
Look, if I lived in North Dakota, here's what I'd be doing. I would have a fortress with landmines and barbed wire and machine guns. If I needed to live in North Dakota, that's how it would be. That would be the circumstances I'd be living in. It would be a fortress, heavily armored fortress, where I have my own, supplies and everything, and I would be going to see Great White. That would not be one of my. I wouldn't be living like with any kind of leisure. I would be hunkering down, ready to fucking fight whoever's coming to get me.
No one's there.
Well, that's why you'd want to be there. You couldn't do that here. I couldn't set up that fortress here. Like it would not be possible. My neighbors would be angry. First of all, our two good neighbors, Sean and Eric, would be angry that I put landmines.
Don't bring Sean and Eric into this.
I know, but if I would put machine guns and landmines here, I would be violating a lot of laws. I might get banned because of even saying that, right? But if I was North Dakota, that would fly a lot easier, and that's the only reason I'd be in North Dakota.
All right, people of North Dakota.
And I wouldn't be seeing Great White.
Don't be dumb.
Under the perfect circumstances, additionally, I would not see Great White, even if everything was perfect.
Maybe if I was already at a street fair and they were playing.
Not really. I would leave.
I might look at it.
I would go somewhere else.
I might look at it.
I'd be like, what is this noise? I was like, oh, this cover song they're playing that other band made in the 70s that didn't even write.
Well, if you would like to go to a concert, Virgin Money is sponsoring a new venue in Newcastle, England, called the Virgin Money Unity Arena. Isn't that nice?
This Virgin Money.
A nice mock-up of what it would look like.
This is what it looks like here. It's a drawing.
Looks like fun.
They present this at the corporate boardroom. They're like, and it will look like this. As you can see here, the fans are completely isolated on their own platforms.
They were called pods.
Pods. We call them pods.
Pods.
Okay, and they will have service. That there would be a service.
Yes.
Using these roads,
there will be waitresses.
There will be waitresses that will service each pod.
And this thing is gonna get. This is done. It must be made because the concerts are starting next month in August.
I mean, addition. I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but England is doing far better than us, and they can.
Yeah, they are.
They technically can do this, but they shouldn't. But they can. Even under, like I said, this is not a good idea, and not because I think it's going to spread disease. I don't think it is. I think this will work. As in not spreading the disease, but however, this is...
Well, okay.
How expensive is this going to be?
You're going to have to stop people from getting out of there. They would need to make those things actual cages, not pods.
That's true. They're just going to go, they're going to go, ACDC, and they're going to run up here, they're going to go,
Okay, well, they announced some music acts, which seemed very tame. I didn't really...
It's not going to be like metal.
No.
No, okay.
Metal's not coming here.
Yeah, those people are going to... Yeah,
I think the only band I recognized was Supergrass.
I don't know what that is.
That's some Britpop.
Okay. All right. So I was assuming, just because it was on Metal Injection, I assumed this was metal, but no, it's just regular shit.
It's concert news. But, a metal band could potentially play there. Maybe Metallica could come there, but you can't keep those Metallica chuds in
No. If this was a metal, they would go, ACDC, and they would run up there and go,
So those would need to be cages.
Yeah, they'd be lock them in.
Yeah.
So 2,500 capacity. See, but these pods here are like what VIP accommodations look like here, isolated things like that. So I'm curious how much that would cost each. Because you're only having 25 people at a stadium size thing. This is clearly a soccer stadium. How
many pounds would it be?
This is clearly a soccer stadium size thing here. So, and you can only fit 2,500 people. You're only allowing, how much is that going to cost? All the upkeep and all the shit, the renting this thing and the band and all that shit and all the people pay, all that shit at the end of the day. What are we looking at here? There's going to be VIP, it's going to be VIP prices. You're not even
it's going to suck to be in the back.
And you're not going to be,
Does that look like fun?
Yeah, you're all the way back here.
You might as well stay home and watch a video.
Yeah.
Watch a stream.
This is a bad idea. And now we're on that.
If you would like to watch a stream.
Segue.
Wacken. Wacken Open Air.
Is what we need to do.
Of course, not happening this year. They are having a totally free virtual festival.
They're not even charging pay-per-view. I was like, charge pay-per-view for it. Money. But no,
please don't.
They're better. They're better than me.
For one, I'm never going to pay for that.
They're less capitalist than me, and they're like,
there's so many free concerts available online.
That's true. There's no demand. There would be no demand.
There's no
one
demand.
would rent this. Yeah, no one would rent this.
I saw Candlemass did a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to watch Candlemass, but I'm not paying $10 to watch 40 minutes or whatever.
Now who's going to play it?
That's a lot.
I mean, Wacken is obviously the biggest concert in the world, biggest metal concert in the world.
So who they've announced so far, Blind Guardian, Heaven Shall Burn, not familiar, In Extremo, not familiar, Creator, and Beyond the Black, not familiar.
Wacken band.
Creator, Blind Guardian.
So this is a good idea. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, we should watch it. We'll catch some of Wacken this year. It'll be the closest we'll ever get to going to Wacken.
This is what concerts are going to be for now, whether you fucking like it or not. This is what it's going to be, and you're going to fucking like it. That's it. There's not going to be concerts, okay? This is good. Everyone, they should do this with Psycho Las Vegas. Why the fuck not? Why not?
Do it this year?
Why not? It's too late now. But, if they were going to, we're going to do this, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. And you get to keep your ticket for next time, right? Perfect. The bands play,
I mean, what's the point of having a ticket if it's free?
Yeah, but, for next year. You keep that for next year. But, if they just did it in studio, not even on the stages in the casinos. They just, provided, bands playing in their own studios or whatever. Or on their own stages or whatever. And, and then you could have links to the merch. You buy the merch. That's it. That's the way it's going to be, people. Like it. You're in the comfort of your own home. watching this concert that would usually be pretty uncomfortable. I mean, Psycho's a little better because you have your own hotel room. But something like Wacken, you're out there in the open, probably camping, right? So
Yeah, we'll never go to Wacken.
no, that's a little bit much. I'm not that tough anymore.
We're babies.
Yeah, Psycho Las Vegas is a luxurious
It's the old
affair.
person's metal festival.
It is for old people. There's mostly old people at it, which is fine. You know, it's what most of these bands will really attract. I mean, I think the Gen Z people aren't really going to dig most of these bands. So anyway, I think this is a good idea. I'm down. So anyway, we can move on. Rammstein. Dun, 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 dun,
A
dun.
little bit of history lesson here.
I didn't think this article was going to be interesting until I totally read through it. I'm like, this is awesome.
He has a very interesting quote. We're talking about Rammstein's drummer, Christoph Doom Schneider.
They call me Doom Schneider.
His name is Doom Schneider.
Doom Schneider.
Doom Schneider. You know, he was in a band back in the 80s, East Germany, and he claims there were 2 spies with him in the band. Would you like to
should I read what he said here? All right, people, I'm going to do, for all of you triggered people.
Everyone loves your accents.
I'm going to do a German accent, and I know.
Don't find them offensive.
And hopefully you find it offensive. This isn't Klaus Meine, by the way. This is Doom Schneider. Doom Schneider. I'm going to make him talk like this. I'm going to make him talk like this, like the singer, like Lindemann sounds. In the East, we have professional bands which are all studied music and have official permission to play music. They were allowed to work as professionals and had the right to charge money. So in East Germany, get this. Under communism, you know, I don't like communism. However, you need to be certified by the authorities to play music. So you have to go through a test. I like that idea. Like, we need that. Like, you know, like, I'm like,
the test here is the free market.
We needn't have a free market music. We need to have this, like, government control, regulated. Like, you know, it's not a bad idea. So you were.
I mean, do you think you would make the cut?
Probably not. And that's fine. I don't deserve to. Neither would my band. But you were only allowed to play 40% covers. And like, this could be good or bad. Some bands should probably only play covers. Like, you were expected to do original music. Some bands probably.
Cover bands. Get out of there.
Some cover bands are good. Like, some cover bands might as well play covers and not play their own original music, you know, to be fair. And so you wouldn't get, you know, you probably wouldn't get bands like Trivium or Slipknot in this, if this were.
I like this. He says, if you were an amateur, you had to be classified at a certain level. There were 3 levels, and I reached the first one.
He was, you know, I was good. Yeah, it's level 1, I guess.
So he could charge 4 Deutsche
Marks.
That's per hour.
That
sounds like a lot.
That
for
is
the 80s.
The Democratic Republic of Germany, as they called it, the East German. All right. I like it. We need this. We need this regulation.
He goes on to mention he was in like a punk band, and so they had a lot of.
So read this. To get your certificate, you have to play in front of a commission, like a jury, who decided if you're the right songs.
I want to be on the commission.
Yeah. Who gets to be in the commission? Is it like on Back to the Future? Huey Lewis is like, you know, judging you, and he's like, it's too damn loud. You were only allowed to play 40% cover, like we mentioned, and actually, it wasn't a bad idea. I agree. Because bands had to come up with their own stuff, and there's a lot of interesting bands at the time. So he was in a band called Die Firma. And I imagine these guys are kind of like this dark kind of Kraftwerk kind of thing. That's what I'm picturing.
Says
you know?
They were a new wave punk band, a little dark with gothic influences.
I'm picturing like Kraftwerk, but like, you know, really just scary.
So this was an illicit band though, because they had verboten lyrics.
You can't have that against the government. Yeah, he was.
Well, they're punks, you know. They can't.
Yeah, so they're being edgy.
Can't sing about harmony.
They're singing against the Stasi. Die Firma was like a new wave punk band. The style was a little dark with gothic influences. We had the lyrics that protested against the system, and if it was not permitted, of course, we were an underground band. All of the other guys in Rammstein were underground bands too. They got to play small clubs, all kinds of fans, freaks, goth punks. The government had the people everywhere. The Stasi.
Those are some real punks, East German punks.
Yeah, they imagine what life was like just
compare them to like the SoCal punks.
Yeah, you know what? Like that should be like a movie about. Like, the guys from Rammstein should really, like, write a movie what their experience was in Berlin, like in East Berlin, like the music scene. That would be cool, guys. Like, I trust you guys to do it because you guys were there. Like, they're like, really, I like the Rammstein because, like, they're from East Germany. Like, they were in the shit.
But,
they're so interesting to me.
The spies were in the band, thought police, people in the music scene.
They put, like, their people in there.
Well, he goes on to say they weren't professional spies. They're basically
Amateur spies.
they're just rats.
Spies like us.
They're people paid to give up their friends. So.
Okay. Yeah, like junior grade Stasi. This is so interesting, though.
Recruits.
Yeah, they're like, junior spies.
They're like, hey, would you like some money?
Yeah, and they just, it's like spy on these bands.
Give us some names.
They put us the names and we'll arrest them. Yeah, that's, that's so interesting. Like, whole East German thing, So, yes, so bring in your hate comments for me doing a German accent. This was like this sounds like Lindemann from Rammstein. I assume that they all talk like that. Yes, they're all from East Germany. See, so the West Germans talk like this, and the East Germans talk like this. They are very mean because they grew up under communism, so they are very dark. Right? Yeah.
You're going to upset all our German fans.
I know it's their second... Listen, you guys have a sense of humor. I know it's their English is their second language, so they talk stupidly. But imagine if I was trying to speak...
stupidly.
They talk stupidly.
It talks better than you.
They talk stupidly. Imagine if I was trying to speak German, then you could make fun of me. If I was learning German and I was like, and then you could do an impersonation of me trying to speak German. Right? It's fine. More hate, please. What else we got? That was an interesting story. That was cool.
All right. Here we've got a little note. Some bands are receiving the PPP funding, CARES Act funding from the government.
From America. Because not all these bands are American, yeah.
They're not?
Nickelback.
But they have to have like an American...
company in America.
An American entity of some sort that employs people.
I read how all these bands have their touring companies in...
So I didn't go through and look at everything, but it seems like it's big bands that are getting this funding, and it makes sense because
just like real life,
like a small band that's going to be, they're not going to be as organized with their with their crew or whatever, probably just paying them out of pocket, who knows. But like these bands can substantiate that they have people on payroll, and
they have corporations, they have like umbrella corporations that run their tour.
That's the thing about this PPP funding, is you need to show that you're using it for payroll. Or like something like that.
Yeah.
So we can all feel good that Nickelback's not going anywhere. They got their PPP money, and Slipknot.
Look at this
We were all worried about Slipknot, but they got PPP funding.
Of course. Who would say Donald Trump was like, Corey Taylor, I'm going to give you this money. I'm going to give it directly to you because I like your music.
Weezer, Imagine Dragons.
Really? You really had to give money to Imagine Dragons. You really had to do it.
Switchfoot, Green Day.
Who is Switchfoot?
Tool. Isn't that like a Christian band?
It may be. Papa Roach got money? Jesus. Tesla? You gave Tesla money?
Papa Roach.
Not Tesla, not like the cars, like the shitty band. That's a shitty band, all you boomers, okay? Fuck you all. They suck.
Well, they've got people on payroll, and they know an account.
They're not even anyone.
But
they play like places in North Dakota, like the Great White get money too.
I bet Great White didn't get money.
You guys didn't get money. Not you guys. We'll give Tesla money, but not you guys. Just like real life, socialism for the big bands, unbridled capitalism for the small bands, right? Goes in the music industry too, and and all the small bands, of course, are getting fucked by Live Nation, right? So and that's all small bands. The big bands aren't gonna really.
Well, they get affected by it too, but they can take it. They can take it. They'll live.
Well, they got money from the government. So we got Tool.
Slightly Stupid.
I don't know who that is. That's a really dumb name. It's really
sounds
stupid.
Familiar.
It's a stupid name, but I don't believe they gave Imagine Dragons money. Who did that? Who is responsible for that? Was it Mike Pence? Mike Pence gave them money, didn't he? You gave Seven Dust money? Yeah, Pearl Jam.
I already read all these names.
Pearl Jam. Is Pearl Jam? Pearl Jam. Like,
they even tour. What are they doing?
Pearl Jam. Like, you're gonna do they want your money? Like, they're like a figure Pearl Jam. Like, we don't want your money. We're against dollar. I just picture Eddie Vedder being like, burr, the money from the government.
No. All right. But.
Yeah. So that's a usual case. It's in the music industry too. Rich get richer, poor get poor. What do we got here? This is funny.
Ozzy and family to start a new paranormal series for the Travel Channel.
What's the Travel Channel? Is that a TV station?
I don't
have
I
TV.
think it's basically. Metal Sucks here says they're basically the Ghost Channel.
Oh, ghost stories, yeah.
Like Ghost Detective.
Oh, so that's a Travel Channel, what's the channel, the murder channel that just talks about like women getting killed?
I don't know.
By like Discovery ID.
Off topic.
But it's just channels, just like these lonely women sit home.
It's just it's a trash channel.
Yeah, it's just garbage for like housewives sitting home.
And this is a fitting
getting scared by TV.
addition to a trash channel. So the premise of this show is that Jack Osbourne will show his parents, Sharon, Ozzy, scary videos that have, showing potential paranormal activity. Be it UFOs, poltergeists, etc. And he will attempt to convince them that they are real paranormal evidence. Your camera's fucked up again.
No, is it? Oh shit! Look at that. No, it's not. That's that.
Okay.
See, yeah.
Sorry.
Illusion.
That's like the lowest. That's barely a YouTube show.
It's Ozzy, so I guess people will watch it because he has these fans that will do anything.
Like, this show is so bad, it's too bad for Kelly to be involved.
It's worse than this.
Kelly's not on the show.
You're gonna make
Kelly's too good for the show.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not doing it. You make fun of me, but then you'll watch that just because Ozzy's in there babbling, going, Dad, Dad, do you see this video? It's got UFOs. It's fucking UFOs. It's fucking...
So, for a little background, Jack Osbourne did have a show called Portals to Hell.
And that was about... I missed that one.
That was, I think, your standard run-of-the-mill paranormal investigation. I don't watch it either. Paranormal investigation show.
It's good to be Jack Osbourne. They just give you a show because you're Ozzy's kid.
You
have no talent
like, do you have
whatsoever.
any interest? And I'm like, ghosts?
I like ghosts.
We'll hook you up with a real paranormal investigator.
Yeah, you're an Osbourne, so...
And you can be the celebrity on the show.
He has no talent at all. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but he's not, he's not a TV... He's not Robert Stack. You remember Robert Stack from Unsolved Mysteries? Unsolved Mystery. You'd hear that music. And you're like, hello, I am Robert Stack, and welcome to another episode of Unsolved Mysteries. And yeah, voice of his. Robert Stack was a great actor. He played Elliot Ness, I think. Was it Elliot Ness in the Untouchables TV series, I guess, was it? Or no, Dragnet. Was it Dragnet?
I don't know. I'm a young person.
I don't know. That's old people shit. Was it Dragnet or was it Untouchables? Comment down below. I don't want to look it up right now. But either way, he's got that very distinguished voice. He played in what, Caddyshack? Caddyshack 1? Or was it Caddyshack 2? Where he plays like the bad guy, the rich golfer. No, it's probably Caddyshack 1, right? Where he's like, I don't want these bums in my country club. I don't want Jews in my country club. Like it was something like that.
All right. So Jack Osbourne.
Yeah.
Practically an expert after working on Portals to Hell, will now convince his parents that YouTube videos are paranormal, evidence of real paranormal activity.
So he's going to watch all those are fake, by the way. Like I know what it's like ghost videos, they're all fake. First of all, like they're easy to, like special effects. Like I could make a ghost video on my computer with, like I decently know how to use special effects. Like everything you're seeing here is fake completely. We don't really look like this. But... Yeah, like it's pretty easy to do. Like, yeah, most of them are going to be really bad. So some people are like really good at special effects on their home. Like I've seen some really good stuff. So yeah, what do you trust anymore?
Do you think Ozzy's going to believe the ghost videos?
Yeah, he's a boomer, so he'll be like, oh my god, it's fucking, because he's not like down. Jack is like switched on to this stuff. Ozzy's not really switched on to this stuff. I mean, he's half retarded anyway.
Well, I think Jack believes.
Oh, Jack believes it.
Well, that's why he had the video. He had the other show. He's not a skeptic.
So Jack is switched on and he's a moron. Okay.
He believes in ghosts.
So he's like, Dad, look at this. And Ozzy probably never seen anything like that before.
He's going to be like, oh my God.
Ozzy doesn't know that there's special effects. Anyone has access to special effects on their home computer. And, he doesn't really understand that concept. So he's like, oh my God, it's fucking ghosts. And he's like, yeah, Dad, it's ghosts.
Sharon's going to be there to rain on the parade.
And she's going to be like, Ozzy, there's no ghosts. Ozzy is fake. They have special effects. I looked it up. I was talking about it.
I think we should do the show Where you just play all 3 parts.
I could voice all. I don't really know. Jack just kind of sounds like a semi-British guy.
I can be Jack.
Yeah, he sounds like
he doesn't have a voice.
Yeah, he doesn't have a distinct voice.
Be like, look at this real video.
What is it? the fucking Joseph. Ozzy, it's not real. Well, it's a ghost, right? Let's say it on the cover screen. Ozzy, it's special effects. What the fuck do you mean it's a home video? It's someone recorded this on their fucking iPhone. No, Ozzy, all video is digital, Ozzy. Anyone could just put it in there. What do you fucking mean? They don't have a fucking $1 million, do you? No, Ozzy, it doesn't cost $1 million. Anyone could do it at home. That'll be the show.
All right.
We just did
that was the entire season.
It's fucking UFOs.
Coming soon to the Travel Channel. Check it out.
Are you gonna get mad for me making fun of Ozzy now, everyone?
Well, now you're making fun
my impersonations aren't that good. They're lame.
I like your Sharon.
Sharon's good, right? She's easy. Yeah, she sounds she's like a British Karen, Like, hey, fucking, where's your manager? I want to speak to your manager now. Yeah.
All right. Okay. We have one final story here.
Speaking of Randy Blythe.
It's Randy Blythe. He's here to comment.
Randy Blythe. So this is about all the controversy recently about the Confederate statue, specifically the Confederate statue.
Down there in Richmond on
Monument Lane. We talked about this last time about the Odorous Younger statue going up over, going up instead of Robert E. Lee, which is good. Randy
Blythe here is advocating that they be removed and put in museums, specifically as they are right now, covered in graffiti.
As Indiana Jones says, it belongs in a museum.
But he gives a very measured and informed opinion on, that these statues aren't really that historical. They were not put up after the Civil War. Robert E. Lee himself didn't even like statues. He didn't want a statue of himself.
He was not a proud man.
Because he knew it would be divisive.
Yeah, he wasn't like that much of a dick, I heard.
And these statues were put up much later to enforce.
By the way, black people,
reinforce Southern values like segregation.
By the way, we might have lost the war.
So their historical value is of oppression.
The South will rise again.
Yes, that's the history. The history is not the Civil War and the blood fought. If you're so
Randy Blythe
about that,
is he's taking a moderate position. And yeah, maybe one of these really nice statues should be put in a museum, like one of the really nice ones, like a really nice one.
I don't know. I feel like being willing to admit that these statues have nothing to do with history. They're just symbols of oppression to oppress the black population.
Yeah, and when you put them in a museum,
to have that as a Southern opinion as a Southern person is not a moderate position.
The South they had a different education.
Oh yeah.
I used to date this girl 20 years ago, and she was from Tennessee, and she said, she was we talk about the South, Tennessee is probably all racist, mentioned something like that. She's like, no. She's like, no, the Civil War wasn't fought over slavery, it was fought for states' rights. This is what these people believed.
Oh yeah.
They were taught this.
They believe it.
And they would argue it. They were like, no, this is the new South. There's not the old racist. That doesn't exist. It's like, she's like,
they get very defensive.
They do. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh,
they're like, states' rights to do what?
Yeah, I was like, oh, and I didn't. I'm a dumb kid, so I'm like, oh, it wasn't slavery. I was like, oh, okay. I was wrong. I thought it was slavery. I was wrong, I guess. I wasn't one to argue, but yeah, that's
Thank you for being my girl.
I was like, yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, you're right. You're so right. You're so smart. I'm so dumb. Yeah. So this is incel Steve. So he's like, oh, yeah, okay, states' rights. I didn't know that. But yeah, it wasn't though. So in reality, so yeah, these, that Robert E. Lee statue is a giant statue. They should put Odorous there. And when they take that one down, maybe they should put that in some corner in a museum. It's kind of big though, so it's going to cost a lot.
I don't know. I would personally be fine with them just destroying them.
Most of them need to be voted down. I'm going to take the moderate position and say vote them. And I guarantee the votes will be take them down. It's not even going to be hard. Even in Richmond, I guarantee you.
Say
votes are going to be
the votes would 100% be to vote them down. But the political powers that are in there because of gerrymandering, etc., would never put that up to
So you're
vote.
saying that democracy is not going to work?
Democracy won't work.
All right.
There will be no opportunity to vote down, and if they are voted down, they're going to be voted on like those gerrymandered lines. So it's like five white people, one black person per voting block.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I just don't like mobs doing their thing, just because then they come after like Teddy Roosevelt statues, and then they come after George Washington statues, and and I know all these guys were slave owners and probably hated black people,
I
but
don't care about statues at all.
I know, but
Any statue really?
No. The idea of the statue is dumb, but it's like George Washington. It's like it's George Washington, the guy, It's like I know he owned slaves. Like I know Thomas Jefferson owned slaves.
But literally every historical figure can be canceled for something.
Technically, but just because they should be, like you can't just go around and take down guys that founded this country, like like the Confederate statue. Sure, take them down, absolutely. But you can't be like George Washington. It's like, okay. It's like, okay, guys, you just want to destroy everything, don't you? You just want to fucking erase the country, don't you?
I mean, I think it's just frustration that like we're out here protesting and like Congress does nothing, and like we're all dying from coronavirus and nothing is happening.
But
it's like people need to do something.
You're trying to erase the country.
So they're like, we don't have any Confederate statues in our city because we're not a southern city, so let's just fucking take this statue.
We're gonna
down
go after Christopher Columbus statue in Nutley, and then Italians like, hey, fuck, what are you doing?
Fuck Christopher Columbus.
Like, listen, like in every Italian city around here, there's a Christopher Columbus statue. Okay, that's just the way it is. And they put the Christopher Columbus, back in the old days, the oldie-timey days, like the 1700, 1800, this country was all white people, so they didn't give a fuck about Christopher Columbus. They're like, who the fuck is Christopher Columbus? They put those up to appease Italian people, Italian immigrants, because Italian immigrants were treated like fucking garbage.
You know what they should do is they should replace them with Ennio Morricone.
Hey, that's absolutely. But other Italian heroes, other many Italian heroes, well, they need to put up a statue if they're gonna put Ennio Morricone. Then they need to put up the guy from Death SS. What was his name? I forgot his name. I can't remember his name. Yeah, put him up. In costume.
Put Fellini up.
Yeah, Fellini.
Could put
Mancini.
So yeah,
Henry Mancini.
A lot of great art out of Italy.
A lot of great directors. Fulci, zombie director. Who else? Who's the guy? There's a lot of Italians. Sergio Leone. Italian directors. A lot of snobby Italian people. Be putting statues, but Christopher Columbus, that was like made to appease Italian people, like Italian immigrants. So they
that's what statues are for.
So they wouldn't fucking riot.
For mind control.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm saying, like, white people didn't give a fuck about Christopher Columbus. They're like, oh, okay.
Destroy your idols.
Destroy your idols. Yeah.
Take them all down.
Yeah. If you're gonna take one down, then I'll agree with that. No one gets any then. Yeah. Nobody gets any then.
It's like Randy makes a point here.
Yeah.
The maintenance of these statues is taxpayer funded.
Yeah.
Are you okay with taxpayer funding
to take care of those
statues? That's raising.
Well, you got to take care of. You got to like brush them when people graffiti them. So you have to like.
You have to like maintain the area. Maybe there's a light on it,
Yeah, they're not like they're not like huge things.
Like the ones in Richmond are big.
Yeah, like that's like big deal.
Our bust is not that
big. It's a bust. It's a bust. It's a bust.
It's there though, okay?
Yeah, it's a bust, but it's not bothering anyone though. What the fuck Christopher Columbus do to you?
Christopher Columbus.
What did he do to you? You're white. What the fuck did he do to you?
To me?
Yeah, or anyone.
He started colonization in basically the ethnic cleansing of the Native American people.
And now we're here. And now we get to live here.
It was a bad thing, okay? It was bad. It was morally wrong. Colonialism is bad.
I'd rather be here than Italy, I think.
Well, neither of us would exist in our current forms without America.
Or all of wherever I came from.
Wouldn't you rather have not existed? Wouldn't that be nice?
Then I wouldn't exist. Why would I know?
Did you ask to be born? I didn't ask to be
born.
Nobody
did. You just did. You were chosen in a lottery. I don't know how that works, though.
I didn't ask for this.
The whole, how you're the personality that goes into that meat suit. Who knows? It's too philosophical. It's exploding in brain.
We're really getting deep on here today.
We are not meant to do that. because you people are offended by German voices. So how are you going to handle this talk?
We need to turn this into a metaphysical
podcast. We have to keep this into. Listen, I could probably get more views if I started talking about like stuff like that.
Politics.
Or politics. I'm not talking about politics. I'm not doing it. Our views would probably explode if we had political keywords.
We just talked about politics.
But, it's not in the keywords. It's not going to ever be in the keywords, though. It's not. I'm not going to put it in the search. Like, that's not going to be the focus of this. Unless it detects it somehow. I don't know. But I don't really know how that works, obviously, because I have the most unsuccessful YouTube channel ever. So I don't know how any of that works.
Let me help you with that.
Okay.
I watch a lot of YouTube.
Okay, but yeah, let's not. I don't want the show to be political. Like, I don't want it to come up in that. Because, what if it starts showing up in political feeds? I mean, like the political people will be like, what the fuck is this? Get this out of here. Like if it starts showing up on their feeds. Like people that watch, like, political shows, whether they watch it like
I doubt,
right-wing or left-wing political shows.
If the title would obviously have Randy Blythe in the title, they're going to be like, who's Randy Blythe? I'm not clicking on that.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
Like, why do I care about that?
But hey, if you could do analytics, which I obviously know nothing about. We all have our specialties. You know what I do with this show? I do the production. Like I'm the ultimate AV guy. I am not good in front of the camera. I'm here because I have to be. Because we have to do the show. But you need me here. You can't just have Sam doing the show. But my specialty, if it were my job to just do AV, I would be fine behind the camera if I was just the AV guy. Because I was meant to be the AV guy. I was born.
Maybe I could just do the show.
To be just you? Maybe people would like it better. You're less caustic than me. You don't do German voices that offend people.
But if I did, I'd want to like write out every sentence.
Yeah, if you did, I'd have to do it behind the camera. I'd be like, all right, here comes the German voice. I'll narrate it.
That might be funny if you were just yelling at me from behind the camera.
Well, I don't know if it would sound good. I have to have like a microphone. It wouldn't sound good me yelling at you, but because people wouldn't be able to understand it.
Yeah, well, you'd have a
voice
microphone,
quality.
but
yeah,
it'd just be like a voice from
off
screen.
Yeah, like a narrated voice.
Like, wait a second.
Yeah, like and now for the voice of Klaus Meine, and I would narrate it. All of a sudden I was also but yeah, like if people didn't see my big stupid face, maybe they would like the show better. A big stupid sweaty face. It's really hot in here. We have no air. If we had an air conditioner in here, it would
be really loud.
Yeah, it would not work with these microphones. These are very sensitive microphones. So it's just you always have the window open, and it's really hot in New Jersey. But that's the only way to do it. It's humid. It's humid. So that's everything with this stupid show. I'm gonna remember to do this for once. Ta-da. Oops, no, not that one. This one.
See, I knew you were messed up.
Aha! No, that was a screen I don't use. That was the interview screen when I do interviews. But yeah. So anyway, thanks again for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media, including Twitter. I hear last minute with Samantha are updates sometimes. I noticed. I'm not a Twitter guy.
Recently.
But you'll touch it. I'm not Twittering.
I lurk.
Too much of a boomer. Facebook, Here Lies Metal. Instagram, Metal Lies Here. And Gmail, hereliesmetal@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. There it is. And give this episode a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Whichever one you want. You like to use the thumbs down, that's fine.
Just push the button.
Just push the button. Push buttons. Just buttons. Push them all. Okay?
Push a button.
And we have, 100 and something subscribers. I know that sounds pathetic to you, but you have 3. The guy that's talking shit about us. Also, comment down below if you're upset with something, which is, you probably are upset with something I said. So comment down below, and that's fine. You can do that. It makes, like I said, it makes me happier. It makes my heart race, and it makes me excited when I see a negative comment. If I saw a positive comment, I would be like, I don't deserve that. Oh, no, I didn't do a good job here. I don't deserve that.
I don't think this is a fear of success.
I think everyone's patronizing me if they give me a good comment. Strangers.
I think you did a good job.
Oh no! And I was like, oh no, I didn't. You're just patronizing. You want something from me, don't you? You're probably a bot, and you're trying to find you're like from Russia, and you're trying to find out my social security thing.
You comment, thank you, and it's like, I got your bank account.
I have your bank account. Yeah. Yeah, if you even just interact with like Russian media, they all of a sudden have your bank account. Yeah. So comment down below if you're upset with anything I said, and also don't forget to ring that bell. Press all the buttons. You know where they are. And be sure to subscribe to Here Lies Metal on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. There's still episodes on there, educational episodes, which I don't really do anymore. I think any future educational episodes we will put on here, obviously, with pictures. I should just shut down our SoundCloud, shouldn't I? Yeah, I should continue it. Probably not, because everything's here. Why do people want to listen? They could watch my ugly
you'll
face.
still have the files yourself.
Yeah, I still have the files, obviously. So yeah. Yeah. That is all, folks. Thank you for watching.
Good night.
Good night, and stay safe, people. And if you're in Florida, just don't stop fucking
Don't move.
doing what you're doing, because we like the fact that New Jersey and New York is coming back to normal, and you guys are risk of destroying that. So don't do that. Okay. You know what? Don't come here. Don't come here.
Don't come here.
Why would you want to come here? But don't.
It sucks.
I mean, there's no reason why you should want to come to New Jersey and Florida, but don't. Anyway.